Hello everyone. Thank you for coming up today. My old subscribers, thank you. And to those that are viewing for the first time or that have not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And to my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Please do not forget to hit on the like button. A lady came out and complained that she was given a quit notice by her landlord all because he wasn't comfortable with the way she dresses. And that came up yesterday, but the landlord is coming up today to speak up regarding that particular statement that this lady made, and she came out online and making these claims, and that's Toju is the name of the lady. The landlord who allegedly served his female tenant a quit notice due to her manner of dressing has dragged her on Instagram and accusing her of being nasty and insolent. And reports show that Toju, that's the lady, had claimed that her landlord gave her quit notice because he has issues with the way she dresses. But in the reaction, Oladipo, that's the landlord, claimed that Toju was in the habit of parading around the estate almost nude and beat up the security guard attached to the house as well. That this is what she was actually doing. He further claimed that Toju was almost beaten up by some ladies over alleged boyfriend snatching. And all of this happened right in his own home. And this is what he wrote down that he had to say. So I'm going to read out what the landlord is explaining with regards to this lady dragging him out and saying that he gave her quit notice all because he wasn't comfortable with the way she was always dressing. And these are his words. Toju Agbajo, so you brought your trash to the media and you aren't ashamed. You better tell them as it happened. And more so, all the nasty habits you put up in the estate, walking almost nude, beating up the security guard I employed, and your insolent attitudes, coupled with how some other ladies came to my estate to beat you up due to the fact that you snatched one of their boyfriends while they were brought in a squad of policemen to take you away. I stood in for you because of my influence after the destruction they caused in my house. Keeping girls in your appointment against our initial agreement. And more I can't bring up here. There is nothing that would save you right now, Toju. And I await whoever Jupiter that would come to your rescue because you aren't trained well to be a decent lady. And this is what the landlord had to write down on Instagram regarding Toju. But guys, what do you all make out of this right now? The guy is saying some other things with regards to the lady keeping some other ladies in her own home and that wasn't part of the agreement. Yes, I know that when you go to rent an apartment, there's agreements between the landlord and the tenant, and you sign on papers when they present to you their agreement. Some they say verbally, some they put it down in paper. And once you have agreed to their own terms and conditions, you don't need to breach such contracts. It's like a contract, and you don't need to go against what the landlord has said. That is his own house. And that's to begin with, because if you and the landlord had agreed that you are not bringing in any other person, it's just you, and you agreed to that, you shouldn't have flouted that particular agreement. If she actually did that, I think that is where she'll be faulted, because an agreement is an agreement and it is not your own home. You're renting and you accepted to these terms and conditions. And once you breach it, that is where you have also broken the contract between you and the landlord. And with regards to her own dressing, fine. I think that should be up to the lady, irrespective of how she dresses. That shouldn't be a thing for the landlord to hold on to and say he wants to send her packing, except in a situation where he has kids around and probably whatever she's wearing is not good to the eyes and is not encouraging, it would mislead kids. What he should have done in that case is to call her attention to it and to see if she can appear better when she comes outside the house. But whatever she's wearing inside the house shouldn't be the problem of the landlord. Probably he was referring to how she was walking around, because he said she walks around almost nude. But should that be a reason for him to send her out? However she chooses to appear, I think that should be her own problem. It shouldn't be a reason for him to send her out. The only thing he should be bothered about is his rent. Probably he's a modest man and he expects this lady to be modest. But Toju is a lady. She knows what she wants, and I think it's up to her to dress however she wants to dress. It's not like this is her father and he wants to control her and then tell her this is not what you should wear. It's a different case when it's your parents that is telling you all of that and you know that, yes. But this is a matured lady, and whatever she decides to wear, I think whatever shame she brings is upon her own self when it has to do with the dressing aspect. And secondly, about she having to snatch other people's boyfriend. If it's an issue of the police people coming in to raid into his house and then get her arrested and the ladies coming to fight and probably destroy certain things, I think that is where he should also get involved, because a police coming to your own house, it doesn't even tell well. It gives a very bad record of that particular building, because it should be in the record that this number of house was taken down or was searched by the police, all because of what had happened. If it is for that and then the ladies coming to fight and then destroy or damage his property, that is a no, no, no. I think it's enough for any landlord to say this person is not fit to live in my house, or this person will cause more harm than good. If he is letting her go based on that fact that he doesn't see her as someone who is okay to be in that house, and with her own activities and all of the police involvement and all of the destructions of property, then if he says that is one of the reasons, fine, it can be justified because it is property and nobody wants to have their property damaged and then they'll have to now come and fix or repair, or having to tell you the tenants to now go on fixing or repairing the house. But if it is whatever transpired, whether she snatched or she didn't snatch, well, what do you all think? Should that be his own problem? Because it's her own life. Even if she snatched or she didn't snatch, I think those are private lives of the tenant. But then she caused it by making it come out in the public when those ladies came to fight her for that. But at the same time, I think there are certain things that the landlords shouldn't get themselves involved with their tenants. So long as it doesn't have to do with your building, they are not destroying your building, they are paying their rent, that should be okay for the landlord. But where it won't be okay, I know, is the issue of having to get the cops come to search someone. It doesn't tell well, and I know in that case the landlords will be very careful to avoid further problems. Maybe if the person is an addict, or the person is an ex-convict, or the person is into some illegal things and the person is living in his house, it can implicate him too as the landlord. And in some situations, some buildings are locked down or shut down by authorities or by the government when they find out that a particular house is being used for certain illegal things. And I don't blame the landlord if he is conscious of that, and if that is one of the reasons why he is trying to tell her to leave. Well, I think it's a thing that sometimes should be discussed over with. Maybe if you had sat down one on one with her and then called her attention to something like this and said, if it repeats itself again, I wouldn't have an option than to ask you to leave. But when it has just happened for the first time and he's now taking a very quick action, it will seem like he's just been fed up and he really wants her to leave. Who knows, maybe he had called her attention prior to this time that everything happened and she didn't want to listen to him. She just kept on carrying out her own activities so long as she's paying him his rent. She felt it's none of his business how she lives her life. But how she lives her life shouldn't be his own problem. I think he should not even be concerned about that because it's her life. She's a matured lady. But what he should be more concerned about should be his rent and his property, ensuring that his property is in order and not in shambles. And with about the police, he should also have a proper check to know if the girl is someone whom you should raise an eyebrow over. Is she a wanted person by the police, or does she get into trouble with the police all the time? These are other things that I think the man should be concerned about. But about her morality, if that's the reason he wants to chase her, if it's for the moral aspect, well, individual differences. Some people cannot withstand all those kind of dressing that you would expose your body. But for that, I think she should also have it in her head and in her mind that if you don't want to cover up completely, that should be indoor. It should not be done outside your home, and it should not be done where you have other tenants, maybe with children. All of that should also be considered as well. You don't do it because this is what you love doing. Also put people into considerations when you are acting in that manner or presenting yourself in that manner. In some situations, a lady who would appear almost nude all the time, you are attracting attention of wrong people. And that is why you hear that some women were either kidnapped and the man did this to her and did that to her. And the landlord had also shown that he is, on the other hand, in quotes, a decent man, because another person would use this as an opportunity to start having something illicit with this particular Toju lady. But he decided that he would rather let her leave than let her stay back in his home and cause unnecessary problems for him, which is another good thing. He didn't take advantage of her appearances and all of that. It's another thing that some people should emulate, because some men, once they see a lady who is dressed in an ugly manner like that, they will just want to ensure that they get involved with the lady and take that as an advantage to themselves. Also, for tenants, it's always good to keep your agreement with landlord and tenant. You don't have to breach all of this contracts because it's an agreement. And once it's an agreement, you fault this agreement. Whatever the landlord decides to do, no one would even blame him because you consented to it, you accepted, you signed, and you said you will do it. And then when you start leaving the person's house, you now contradict what agreement you people had in the first place, and which is not good at all. If a landlord decides to give a tenant a quit notice because he or she has breached the contract, the landlord is justified. It's his own house. He has his rules and regulations which he would lay down before you. If you're not okay with it, you just leave or don't rent the house, because if you've rented an apartment and then you've signed, it obviously means you will keep to the person's terms and conditions. And then when you don't do that, anything the landlord decides to do, so long as he's not going to hurt you, if he decides to let you go, fine. Some people are like that. Well, for this landlord, guys, what do you all think? Is the landlord justified for his actions? And good a thing that the landlord has even come out, because the lady just came out yesterday and what she was saying is that all because of the way she appears, the landlord gave her a quit notice. So the landlord now came out again online today just to clear the air and to break things down properly. You see, that's why it's always good to listen to both sides of the story. If people had concluded, like yesterday, some people had concluded and then shading the landlord, calling him out, giving him names and all of that, which was not necessary at all, because if something has happened, once you've not heard from one person and you draw conclusions on what the other person has said, it means that you are not telling yourself the truth. Weighing what the landlord is saying and weighing what the lady has said gives a clear picture of what has been transpiring, except the landlord is not saying the truth about all that he has just mentioned. So tenants, please be very, very careful and ensure that if you are not ready to keep to terms and conditions of landlord, you don't need to rent the apartment. It's better you go somewhere else than renting the apartment and then causing problems between you and the landlord, which is not good in any way. Always respect the person that is in charge, so long as this person owns the house and this person rented it out to you. Make up your mind to either stay or leave or decline because you are not comfortable with the terms and conditions. But for every house, every tenant and landlord, there is always an agreement between both parties. You barely see a house where there is no landlord and tenant agreement binding them together. You would definitely see that. So if you feel that his terms and conditions are too stringent, they're too difficult for you, just decline and say no, you don't want it, or you don't want to rent the apartment, all because you can stand all of this. Friends, what do you all think about this? The landlord and the tenant was Toji right by slamming the landlord and saying he is now giving her quit notice because of her dressing, and she didn't give us the full, because the landlord is now coming out with the complete story. So let's never draw conclusions with only one side of a story. Let's also listen to both parties, because definitely everybody will have his or her own opinion or his or her own take on the issue. But please, if you have anything to say, you can put that down at the comment section. And please don't forget to hit on the like button. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Friends, I'm here today to talk about how to start up a new YouTube channel. So for those that are looking to start up a new YouTube channel, probably you've been trying to figure out how to go about it, or you have been trying to see what it entails or what you need to start. That's why I'm here today, to give you the easy way for you to get this done. Not just the easy, but the best method, and also to give you or to talk about the best teacher who will give you all that is required for you to start up your own YouTube channel. This is a teacher. He is really successful with his YouTube, and he has been a teacher for so long now. Teacher is Matt Pa. He's going to give you a step-by-step method on how to start up your own YouTube channel. No stone unturned. Every step of the way, he's going to lead you through it. You have links that you can actually reach out to him and communicate with him directly. That's Matt Pa there. You can see the huge successes he has made in YouTube. You can see his silver, you can see the gold, you can also see his revenue that he's actually making on YouTube, which is very huge. He is going to give you a YouTube step-by-step tube mastery class, every step of the way, from the beginning of the opening of the channel to how you can start up and put up your videos. He is leaving no stone unturned, like I said. So for those that are seeking for how to start up their own YouTube channel, this is the easiest and the fastest way for you to have access to this particular teacher who is honest and straightforward, and you will enjoy every bit of the class and you will have lots of gain. At the end of your class, you will have lots to hold on to and to start up your own YouTube channel. It's going to be like an ABC class starting from the scratch. So please, for those of you that are interested in starting up your own YouTube channel, Matpa, he is the teacher and you will have direct access to him. I'm dropping the link below. So please, you just click on that link and you will have access to Matpa's class. He is going to give you the whole content of YouTube and all that it takes for you to be successful in YouTube and how to start YouTube from the scratch. Like I said, and I'm going to repeat, he's leaving no stone unturned. And it's so interesting that if you have any kind of complaint, no matter the time you have this complaint or you are confused about anything, you can communicate directly to him and he will give you a response as soon as he gets your question or as soon as he gets your mail or anything you're trying to confirm from him. He is quick at responding and he will give you the right answers. And even if you go elsewhere to search, you find out that what he is saying is actually true. He wouldn't mislead you. So please, for those of you that want to start your own YouTube channel from the scratch and see how you can be successful on YouTube, please go to this link, click on the link below so you will have access to the teacher. That's the teacher there you can see and see his success. You can go through that and then you click on the link so that you can have direct access to Matpa himself. This teacher, you will enjoy and enjoy every bit of the classes that he's going to give to you. So friends, do not forget to click the link below so you have access to Matpa's Tube Mastery class, and he will give you the best teaching for YouTube you will really need to start your own channel. Friends, thank you for coming up today. Please, for those that have not subscribed, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Thank you once again, and God bless you all.